I started off by changing the platform on my heat press. The only reason why I do this is because it makes it super easy to lay out my jersey and only press where I need to. So here I am buttoning up the shirt just to make sure everything is perfectly centered. The front of the image is going to go right between the two top buttons. As always with sublimation, make sure you go ahead and lint roll. I'm using a Teflon pillow, a press pillow. You can get these on Amazon. I do this because of the buttons. In the front, I decided to use DTF for this specific jersey. Of course, I could have used sublimation, but it just was going to make it so much easier to do DTF because the sublimation colors were not going to show over those black stripe. I'm going to show you this again in a little bit, but make sure you adjust your pressure. So because this is a cold peel, I went ahead and just inspected and then put aside and went on to the next one. So here I am going to give you a closer look. So the image on the front is going to go between those second. I already have the press pillow under there. I line it up just where I want it, making sure I have the same distance on both sides. And I did go ahead and make that cut on the DTF front open up flap. I didn't cut the film all the way just so that it holds everything together. Okay, now I'm going to prep the images on the back. I always use the tearaway method because it makes it so much easier so you don't get those hard press lines that you do on sublimation. I printed this on my Epson SEF 570. Sublimation shirts are going to be different for different brands, but I find that the settings that I use work pretty much for every single brand I've ever used, including my own. So I use 370 degrees for 45 seconds, and I use a medium to light, very light. When you get those hard press lines, it's because you have too much pressure. You minimize that by tearing the image instead. Of course, I always move the collar out of the way so you don't get those hard press lines on the collar as well. Making sure I tape everything really well. Put my cover sheet and then press. I had to readjust my pressure. This is why you use the butcher paper on top, because you don't want this ink getting on your heat press and then getting on the next shirt. All right, as always, make sure you check the corners before you peel off the transfer on sublimation. That way you don't have to waste a blank. What happens is that if you notice that it needs more pressure because the image is more light, it's too light, then you still have the opportunity to just press it right back down. All right, you ready for this? Look at how beautiful the colors and the image. Your paper should always look like that, like it doesn't have hardly any ink on it. If there's still a ton of ink on the paper, then either there's something wrong with your settings. I would actually review the type of paper that you're using. I have a few recommendations. If you need them, please let me know. This is exactly why sublimation is probably my top #1 favorite transfer type of all time, because it's soft, it's pliable, it's permanent, it's not going to crack, it's not going to fade. Granted, you use the right shirt. As long as it's 100% polyester, you will always get those vibrant images. And of course, your settings. If you have any questions, please let me know. Inside my community, if you go to the classroom section, there is so many more tutorials that you can learn from. Please comment and I'll be sure to answer.